We're coming on the air with this dangerous holiday storm in full gear. We're talking snow, high winds, plunging temperatures, flooding, and more.
The West Coast has been pummeled by an unending stream of atmospheric rivers, leading to near-record rainfall, flooding, mudslides, and the toppling of trees. Now, in the following days, another atmospheric river or strip of deep tropical moisture with heavy downpours and accompanying high winds is poised to pound the Golden State, extending a soggy trend that might last 10 days or more. The Bay Area National Weather Service office is warning people to take the next storm very seriously, calling it a truly brutal system. They've warned that an atmospheric river will hit California. The atmospheric river is connected to a low-pressure system that is fast intensifying over the Northeast Pacific and will be designated as a bomb cyclone. An explosive reduction in air pressure gives rise to a vacuum-like effect, allowing the storm to take in air and produce high winds, hence the name meteorological bomb. The Center for Western Weather and Water Extremes, a research group that rates atmospheric rivers on a scale from 1 to 5 based on their intensity and duration, has rated the upcoming episode as a Category 3 event. The saturated ground from pre-storm rains increases the likelihood of flooding and the risk of falling trees, which is not taken into consideration by the current assessment. But wait, there's more to this video. Stick around as we reveal why this upcoming storm can turn out to be North America's worst disaster ever. After intense flooding, widespread windstorms and rounds of lightning and hail from thunderstorms over the past few days, the Bay Area's storm door is starting to close, slowly. California can look forward to a weather pattern that will gradually trend drier, but not before another round of moderate rain showers rolls into the Golden State between now and the early part of next week. Another series of weak to moderate atmospheric rivers will stream toward the coast starting Wednesday, hosting more thunder showers and rain squalls across much of Northern California. But these rains won't be distributed equally, and for a lot of Bay Area residents, the drier weather is right around the corner. Storm door is partially open. These recent rain showers will follow a slightly more northern-oriented pattern than what's been the case for the past several days. This means a lot of the highest rainfall totals for Wednesday will be measured in Marin, Sonoma, Napa, and Solano counties, where light to moderate rain and brief thunder showers will likely help rainfall totals reach 1.5 inches. Apart from a few patches of the Diablo Range and stretches of Highway 1 between Pacifica and Santa Cruz, the rest of the Bay Area and Central Coast won't receive as much rain. In fact, much of the Bay Area outside of North Bay is slated to see just a few hundredths to 1/2 inch of rain on Wednesday. This pattern continues into Thursday as showers trail farther north of Santa Rosa and Napa. By Friday, light showers will likely roll into most of the Bay Area during the day, with moderate rain bands remaining in the North Bay Highlands. In fact, the only part of California that will see widespread heavy downpours on Friday will be the Eureka and Mendocino coastline. So, what's causing all these showers to move north? The powerful jet stream that's been responsible for the consistent parade of storms and atmospheric rivers in California is undergoing a bit of a shift starting Wednesday and lasting through the weekend. Atmospheric waves over Japan are bending the jet stream's west-east flow northward. This amplification on one side of the Pacific Ocean is causing a ripple effect on the other side of the ocean, and the bending jet is now tilting atmospheric rivers and Pacific storms slightly north toward Oregon and Washington state. This means most of California will be cut off from the bulk of atmospheric river moisture for the first time since mid-December. Shifts in the jet stream will have far-reaching impacts. This tilt will essentially cut off the largest plumes of moisture in the atmosphere from traveling south into the Sacramento Valley, Central California, and most of Southern California. It also means the Bay Area will be right along the border between the moist air in Northern California and drier air to the south. Depending on where that boundary moves between Wednesday and Saturday, you'll either receive light rains for the next few days with rounds of more moderate rain, or mostly dry conditions with intermittent light rains. This boundary will hover mostly around Highway 37 along San Pablo Bay, keeping the North Bay locked in on the higher rainfall totals. Is most of the Bay Area in the clear now? Not quite. While drier weather is in store over the next few days, by Saturday and into early next week, weather models and their ensembles struggle to render if the tilt of the jet stream will stay in that northward holding pattern. In other words, the energy over the western Pacific Ocean hasn't gone away, and with a weakening La Niña pattern, It's likely that another burst of strong winds off the jet stream may recreate a west-east flow across the ocean. If that shift in the jet stream happens by Sunday, it's possible that another atmospheric river will latch onto California. Despite some brief breaks this week, the aggressive wet pattern that's overstayed its welcome in California will be hard to shake off. The details remain muddled for the weekend and into early next week, but the storm door has a good chance of remaining semi-open between now and into early next week. Since Christmas, no fewer than 8 atmospheric rivers, narrow but intense filaments of deep tropical moisture stretching thousands of miles across the Pacific, have bombarded California. The atmospheric rivers were aimed at the coast like a series of meteorological fire hoses, and at least 17 deaths have been attributed to the onslaught, which has brought damaging floods, landslides, downed trees, and power outages. Prolific rain totals of 10 to 20 inches, up to 200 inches of mountain snow, winds approaching hurricane force, and even a handful of tornado warnings have accompanied the promenade of storms. At long last, there's a possible pause in sight, probably in about 7 to 10 days, but not before several more episodes of heavy precipitation. And if there is a pause, it's too soon to know whether it will be sustained or short-lived. The latest wave of rain was soaking areas near and north of the Bay Area on Wednesday morning. That will taper into downpours mainly affecting Northern California near the Oregon border into Friday morning, before the possibility of more soaking rain for the Bay Area and Central Valley, and eventually areas farther south into the weekend. Flood watches and wind advisories blanket the northern two-thirds of California, with winter weather advisories in the mountains. Gusty winds at times mean an ongoing threat for downed trees and power outages. For now, the National Weather Service office serving the Bay Area writes that the storm door remains open, though there's finally a glimmer of hope for sunnier days ahead. Storminess targets areas of Northern California. There was a major cyclone or low-pressure system roughly 1,000 miles off the coast of the Pacific Northwest on Wednesday. It was spinning anti-clockwise, bringing waves of moisture ashore along a warm front, and the rain was generally light to moderate. In coming days, we can expect persistent moderate rain. Precipitation is expected to be heaviest to the north of the Bay Area. Rainfall amounts of ½ an inch to an inch are expected in San Francisco, with up to 2 inches possible north of the city from Wednesday afternoon until Wednesday night. Coming up, rain will be restricted to a north to south strip over Northern California's coastal regions in advance of an incoming cold front. By the weekend, rain totals in Northern California could reach 2 to 4 inches, with 3 to 6 inches possible in the coastal range's higher elevations. Rainfall totals between San Francisco and Sacramento might approach 1 inch. The Bay Area's Weather Service office warned that further accumulating precipitation will be problematic given saturated soils and full creeks and streams. Sacramento's National Weather Service warned that debris could jam storm drains and ditches. Creeks and streams in the area are at or near flood stage. Dangerous waves, coastline erosion, widespread flooding, and wind damage were all left in the wake of the bomb cyclone. But a break in the rain this morning will allow residents of the Bay Area to begin picking up the pieces. And while the respite from the rain is appreciated, it will be short-lived as the powerful jet stream will begin sending another round of atmospheric rivers toward Northern California this evening. This week's bomb cyclone depleted a lot of the convective energy in the atmosphere over Northern California. Rain bands form when the atmosphere gains enough momentum from weather systems like cold fronts, warm fronts, and natural barriers like hills and mountains to unleash their precipitation. This energy can cause violent thunderstorms, like the one that hit the Bay Area on Wednesday night, complete with lightning and high winds. However, the majority of that energy has already been used up, so any low-pressure system off the coast that draws from the atmospheric river will only be able to provide mild to moderate rainfall. If the atmosphere were a level in Pac-Man and the available convective energy were snack pellets, then this would be the level where the player had nearly depleted the supply. Until the atmospheric river finishes its turn this weekend, the available convective energy will be depleted, just like those digital nibbles. Not until the next atmospheric river reaches California. For this weekend at least, Bay Area residents should expect a mix of light and moderate rain showers on Saturday, with drier conditions on Sunday. More storms on the horizon. The atmosphere over California will refill its convective energy by Monday afternoon when the next atmospheric river approaches the state. One of 2 atmospheric rivers expected to hit the west coast next week. One storm is expected to hit in the next few days, drawing moisture from a river of clouds. Since this storm is forecast to generate substantial convective energy off the coast, about 100 joules per kilogram, it's highly likely that the Bay Area and much of Northern California will experience a series of moderate rain showers. Currently, it appears that the Bay Area will receive between 1 and 3 inches of rain over the next few days, with up to 3.5 inches possible in the North Bay Highlands and up to 4 inches possible in the Santa Cruz Mountains. This additional moisture will further strain regions already struggling with substantial soil erosion and runoff from previous rains. Weak showers will persist for the majority of the week ahead, and another atmospheric river will begin to lock into California by Thursday and Friday. That system still has a lot of leeway to maneuver, and it's possible that it will end up in the jet stream's tail end. But if it occurs, it will increase the potential for flooding and debris flow across Northern California. As the forecasts for next week's weather continue to solidify, we must wait to see where the models currently stand on those probabilities. That pretty much wraps this video up, guys. Thanks for watching. So, do you think this storm will be the worst ever disaster in North America? Share with us in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to this channel with a bell notification if you enjoy watching our content. We upload some awesome stuff here which you will most certainly enjoy. Hit a like on this video and leave a comment below. See you guys in the next one. Guys.